You'd think with us being a bunch of Brits in the good old US of A, we would have been itching to get a hold of some hardware as soon as we stepped off the plane. But it took us right up until the end of June before we got ourselves some range time. When we finally got around to doing it though, we had an absolute blast, pun sort of intended. Obviously, the States has a completely different relationship with firearms than England. In fact, growing up, my only exposure to firearms would have been through TV, movies, or even video games. And I really like video games. Playing them is easily my favourite hobby. I've been playing them for years now. They've grown up alongside me too. It's not just about running to the right and collecting coins anymore. Nowadays they are, arguably, works of art. They have real things to say and thought-provoking stories to tell. I'm not sure if I could ever nail down my absolute favourite game of all time, but I know one that's certainly up there for me, and it's relevant to the topic of this video. Metal Gear Solid 3. Absolute blast of a game. Solid 9 out of 10. It's got action, intrigue, and the ending leaves me, a blubbering mess every time I see it. During the game, while you're sneaking around, you can go into a first-person view to aim your weapons better. Now, there was no aiming reticule or crosshair in this first-person view. You had to line up your shots yourself using the sights on the weapon. Younger me could figure out how to line up shots with a sniper scope, and the XM16E1 had a little hole thingy that you could line up. But the M1911A1 was a goddamn mystery to me. You just had these 3 little dots. I couldn't make a single shot until one day I figured out in my idiot child brain that if these 3 dots were level with each other, then that would mean the weapon must be perfectly horizontal. I also figured out that the central dot is on the end of the barrel, so that means that if I align my targets with that middle dot, I should... Oh my god, it actually worked. That was knowledge I would never forget. What truly cemented that knowledge in my mind, though, is when I found out that's how it all works in real life too, the 3 dots and everything. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that playing video games has made me some sort of eagle-eyed sharpshooter. What I am saying, though, is that isn't normal, everyday knowledge, is it? I don't think the average British teenager would have known the subtleties of correct firearm usage back then. I wouldn't really describe myself as a firearm fanatic or anything, but learning this created this appreciation for the design and mechanics of these things, and I always get that same feeling whenever I've had the chance to go shooting in real life since then, and it was no different here. I've never had to reload before. Usually everything would be cleared and loaded for me, and then you just squeeze off a few shots. But here, taking the time to load in each individual bullet or shell myself really changed that dynamic. For me, that day went from doing something that was a bit of fun to building on that past appreciation, getting a better idea for the discipline that should come with the usage of these things. Not a lot left to say for this one. Enjoy the shooting.